Hello, welcome to the Sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Standard Open in Columbus, brought to you by Ultimate Guard. I'm Nick Miller alongside Invitational Champion Ali Aintrazi. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Now you were off to a nice little relaxing vacation this past week.
Yeah, I was actually on a Disney cruise with the family.
Not a lot of Magic playing, but a lot of brewing.
A lot of brewing, no Magic playing, that's right.
Right. So you, of course, I think Jeff Hoagland talked to me. He said you kind of were looking for a list. He shipped you something. You said no Emrakul, can't do it.
Yeah, basically, he showed me his Spirits deck, and I was kind of on it. I was like, I'm gonna see what I can find, and I just worked on I tried to find the best shelf for Emrakul, and this is what I came up with that short amount of time.
Right, you're calling it your own boat brew.
Boat brew.
We've got
yeah.
Sultai control here, or Disney nomenclature,
or Disney brew.
Yes. Saw you in the first game off buys, cast Emrakul, so I'm like, all right, we're doing what we need to be doing here with Ollie. So, talk about the deck. Kind of a control deck at heart, but you also got a Delirium package as well.
It's like I said, it's basically a control deck with Delirium package, and you have a lot of like one or two ofs, but they are doubled up thanks to Traverse the Uvenwald or Dim Protector. So like Dim Protector is basically like +1 or +2 to any card, and Traverse is basically the same way.
Sure.
Any card they can tutor anyway. So the plan of the deck is just to try to clog the board up or wipe the board, and then start casting your Traverses and then ending the game out with Emrakul.
Right, so you got all the removal spells from Grasp, Ultimate Price, Lotus Path, you got Murder, bunch of languages, even an Oath of Liliana for the sacrifice there. Then you've got your kind of core Planeswalkers to kind of hold it all together from Jace, new Liliana. We got to talk about Liliana. One of the few decks that's packing a bunch of copies of Liliana, Last Hope. How's she been for you this weekend?
Actually absurd. She's really, really good. I think she's better than Tamio.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Better than Tamio. All right. Of course, you're using her, kill creatures, but also can bring back creatures you need, create loops with like Dim Protector, and her, I imagine, can be pretty powerful.
Or Jace, or Nissa, or whatever, you know. It's really good. Like the deck has so many creatures too, that her mana is actually relevant in both ways. You get a creature, and you get Delirium, mill.
So of course, joining Liliana, you have Obnixilis, but also Nissa. So you've got a bunch of creature planeswalkers when they die, so you can get them back with Liliana as well.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about Emrakul.
Yeah.
Promised End, card of the set, or the icon of the set.
Yes. She is a beating. I have lots of game that I've cast her. To be fair, last game against Hoagland, I could have cast her or Languish. Languish swipes his board and basically makes you win by tank for a while. But it's very rarely that she's bad. The only time she's bad is against like people that swarm, like humans or whatever, because they get to time warp and attack you. But otherwise, she's been a house.
Right. Against the non-go wide strategies, you just get to take care of whatever they're doing, then win with a 13/13.
Yeah, she also has trample. Which is against one opponent against we went tokens. I was able to cast her on his turn. He had 5 tokens, a leap in play, and a hanger back walker with 3 tokens. I make him attack the hanger back into my Emrakul. I make him deck and stone with like 10 tokens away, and the Democus command put a counter on my spider and make him sacrifice his own evolutionary leap. So it was pretty disgusting.
All right, it's doing a lot of things.
Yes.
Mind controlling, as you would be doing. I'm sure you've cast many of the original Mind Slavers in your time.
I love Mind Slaver.
All right. So we're only doing that again, but now with the 13/13
body. Yep.
Ishkana, the Widow here, the Graph Widow, looks very good against the Spirit decks, right?
You have trouble with flyers in general because Advocate doesn't block those, and Ishkana is just one of the best cards in the set. Like, she is so good. And even against last time I was playing Hoagland, I was able to play Ishkana, have 3 spiders. We're kind of at stalemate, and I don't want to cast my spells because he has flash.
Right. Playing any spells at sorcery speed are awful right now.
Exactly. So instead, I would just say go, and he would say go, and then it turned out drain him for 4. So I don't know. She's absurd against spirits. Obviously, she's just really good in general, I think.
Right. Matchups where people are just staring at each other, they're going to have to deal with Ishkana at some point. Otherwise, you just drain them out.
Yeah, and that irrelevant ability is actually really relevant.
Yeah. Of course, you got a Silumgar here from old Sultai decks past, just taking good things, planeswalkers, creatures.
Yep. Silumgar is obviously. If they have a permanent you can't deal with, as long as it's non-land, you can just get Silumgar and say, hey, let me borrow that. Silumgar is really good too.
course, Sylvan Advocate, just one of the best creatures in the format.
Yeah. Originally, my original list did not have Sylvan Advocate. I actually added him 5 minutes before the tournament, mostly because I was playing so many creature lands, and he just clogs up the board so well. Like, this deck needs time, and he gives you that. He also makes Liliana better because he's a more creature, first of all, and he curves into her. So he protects her very well.
Right. The combination of Advocate into Liliana allows you to have an offensive creature and a blocker, and then just be able to pin them down and attack through other creatures.
Exactly, yeah, it's really sweet.
Your other kind of cards floating around here, you got, of course, Traverse to find all your little targets. Oath of Jace to help Delirium, of course. Hedron Archive, Ramps.
And Delirium.
And draws cards.
Yep. Originally, I was thought about Terrarion, is that how you say it?
Terrarion, I think?
The egg. Yes. But it comes play tapped, it's awful top deck, and I was like, you know what? I asked a bunch of people, they all said, play Terrarion. I was like, you know what? No. I'm playing Hedron Archive because I want to ramp into Emrakul, I want to draw cards, and it's been really good.
Yeah, does all the things all Aintrazi wants to do.
It's true.
Of course, this one here, Scour the Laboratory. Just got to draw more cards.
Yeah, that was actually also another last minute change. I had 4 tick inventories originally, but it was so slow and I needed more instants. So I cut all those and added a Scour, more Oath, another Oath of Jace, and something else, I can't remember.
So you've just been kind of brewing this whole week, thinking about what kind of Sultai cards I own deck I want to play.
Basically, and after today I will know how the deck works, how to tweak it, so make sure you check out my article. But so today's basically like a testing day for the deck. It's doing really well.
Right, 6-0 so far.
Yes.
What are the highlights, what are the lowlights of the deck so far?
The highlights is, I don't know, it seems really good. You can just play Emrakul, a bunch of bullets and all these cards, and it's great. The downside is I do wish I had more instants. I keep finding that Delirium is hard to enable because of less instants, and I wish I had a way to gain life, so maybe pull some Marasa, so that's instant, it does both. Otherwise, I think deck's really sweet. Also wish I had some kind of duress effects or transgress the mind in the board. I have Pick the Brain, but against like spirits, like my thinking was, oh, I won't need duress because they play guys and I counter my spells. I don't want to play that, but having a key duress, like to duress them and play Ishkana, is just too good. So I should have played a couple duresses.
Couple discard cards, some more instants. Pull some Marasa really good with Dim Protector and that whole engine as well.
It's a loop too, yeah.
Right. I thought low light would have been no more Emrakuls. Like only one Emrakul?
With Traverse, I'm playing 3.
All right. You got me there.
Right?
All right. Sideboard cards, you got Painful Truths, Dead Weight. It's a removal that helps against, or add Delirium, of course. Kalidas, another target. Now, Lambhole Pacifist, we've seen this card come in a lot of the control mid-range decks. You just need a body, right?
Yeah, she's also good against Believe It or Not Spirits because you play her and they're like, oh, I want to play this game where I cast spells at the end of your turn. And it kind of disrupts that a little bit. Like if their hand is only like spell colors and stuff, it's very hard for them to just say, okay, I'm not casting anything because she flips and domes them. But like, because Advocate's obviously, I think is bad in that matchup. I don't really want him. And Pacifist is a little better.
Yeah, it puts the pressure on them. They can't just sit back and try to play the instant speed.
It's also very good against humans and good against opposing pacifists and just a wall. Protects your planeswalkers.
Right. Extra Liliana, extra Ishkana, just when you need more of those cards. But then this one's getting in a little press in Jeff's deck as well. Summary Dismissal, just very good, stopping the things you have to stop.
It's a fantastic sideboard card. It's like a 5-star sideboard card. The card is really good. Obviously, I would struggle against like Ulamog or actual ramp decks, and Summary Dismissal just helps me so much with that.
None of your permanents getting exiled. So.
Yeah, even against I played against a Drowsy opponent earlier, where he tapped out for Thanatos here at Summary Dismissal, but actually let it resolve, and then I dismissed the inner battlefield trigger. I was able to untap. I was going to languish anyway, so I languished, got to draw an extra card, and the card is great. It also exiles like Planeswalker ultimates too, if that ever happens.
Yeah, you're able to hit a bunch of little pivotal things like Planeswalkers, lands even, I think like the Sanctum of Ugin trigger can be stopped. So all
anything.
These crazy little corner cases.
Yeah, Sanctum of Ugin can really, I think they choose, right? Or I can't remember how Sanctum works.
Probably mention it on his spiel, so I imagine it probably works.
Yeah.
Also, Pick the Brain, your other Delirium card here, just shutting down the key sorceries.
Yeah, I don't want to play Invasive Surgery, and Pick the Brain is just very good against like taking like if there's a season's past deck, you can take all those cards. And I figured against if playing against a grinding deck, might as well pay 1 mana and pick the brain anyways, and then a chance of delirium, you just wreck the deck. So.
Well, you're 6-0 so far. You've just been kind of crushing everyone, ramping up to Emrakul, killing all the creatures. Seems like a good deck, even though it's not quite as rampy as we expect from you.
No, it's not. It's still very sweet, though. It's very toolboxy. I like it a lot.
All right, well, you're doing pretty good so far, so wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for the action here in Columbus.